Good afternoon and welcome back to the Football Terrace. Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, is a Man United player again. His interview released by Manchester United Football Club earlier on today. He seems very excited and enthralled to be, pursuing his career again at Manchester United Football Club, really pushing on to, make an impact back in the first team. One of the bits of news that surrounded Cristiano Ronaldo coming in, which really worried and concerned many Manchester United fans, was the impact that the deal could have upon future signings, namely Erling Haaland. It has been revealed this morning by Mark Ogden of ESPN that Erling Haaland remains Manchester United's sort of premier target in many ways in relation to coming in to the football club next year, but also Man United believe that the race to win Haaland has been strengthened by the arrival of Cristiano Ronaldo into the football club. And I think that's a fairly interesting point because and it's not one that I've overtly agreed with personally. When City were linked with him, I looked at it as very much being what would stop City from getting Haaland, big wages, a blocker as an example. But it was reported at the time by a number of journalists that actually this could enhance their opportunity of bringing him in. This could make him make Man City a more desirable place for Erling Haaland because of his want and his desire to play with Cristiano Ronaldo. That has now been backed up by Manchester United journalists who believe exactly the same thing, that it is now highly plausible and achievable and attainable by Manchester United Football Club to be able to go out there and bring Cristiano Ronaldo into the club, but also land Erling Haaland. In the same report, it states that he still remains the number one choice next year. It's one of the main focuses next season is going to be a striker along with a central midfield player. But I really wanted to gauge and ascertain what everybody thinks and feels about this deal going ahead and this deal going through. There's a comment here that says H. Grimes says Haaland has a pre-agreement in 2020. A pre-agreement with who? With Real Madrid. It says here H. Grimes was spot on all transfer window this summer. I mean, H. Grimes was very accurate, did say that Harry Kane would be a blue, and it didn't happen. What I would say is this. Their deals can be almost done and change at the very last minute. Friday morning, last week, nobody expected Man United to sign Cristiano Ronaldo, and it happened. Nobody was saying he was going to Manchester United. No one. Not a single journalist in the world. So I believe Real Madrid are leading the race, but it doesn't mean that Man United are going to go for him. Man United believe that Ronaldo strengthens their case. What's really going to be the fundamental turning point in trying to sign someone like Haaland and bringing them into Man United, bringing them to Real Madrid, it's going to be the contemporary status of the club. If Man United win the Prem this year and nearly win a Champions League, but Real Madrid have struggled, that strengthens the case. Having Ronaldo strengthens the case. So I would say this. No one knows where Haaland is going to go right now. Everybody's going to have a hunch. But I think the day after the transfer window ends, I think it's quite a refreshing feeling as a Man United fan to hear that actually the signing of Cristiano Ronaldo hasn't dampened our recruitment team's belief in landing Haaland. And the reason I trust and believe in our recruitment team is a different bunch of people now. I think Myrtle and Fletcher have done a very good job for their first summer. Was it perfect? No. Do we want it to get better? Absolutely. Of course we want it to get better than this. We need it to get better than this. But there's certainly been an improvement. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. Terry, that sarcasm was flawless. I don't know what you mean. I wasn't even being sarcastic. I'm being real. I've seen a lot of transfer journalists and in the knows be right about a lot of things this year. I've also seen deals that they expected to happen or not happen go through. Yesterday morning, the guru, the god, Fabrizio said, Saunaguer's off, blocked, not moving. And then it happened. You know, these things go ahead all the time. Verbal agreements in place for Jules Koundé for many, many weeks. Personal terms agreed. The man flew to Paris for his medical. The deal ended up falling through. These things happen can happen at any time. Deals can be agreed to. Things can look. We've even seen it before. Willian had done his medical and still didn't join Tottenham and joined Chelsea instead. So lots and lots and lots can happen in relation to that, in terms of where he's going to go. I thought was thank you very much, Monser Ahmed, for that there. It means a great deal to me. Thank you. I think what's really interesting in terms of other news that's come out today is that the headlines about Donny van der Beek and Anthony Martial. So Donny van der Beek had his proposed move and exit away from Manchester United rejected and blocked by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, for me, I'm intrigued by this massively. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has not played Donny van der Beek enough. Nowhere near enough game time for Donny van der Beek. I want to see so much more game time from Donny van der Beek in a Manchester United shirt. One, I think he's an exceedingly talented football player. And two, I want to get to the bottom of this debate. I want to actually get to a resolution with this debate, and so we can say whether or not he is or is not good enough to play for Manchester United. The problem is when a player doesn't get ample opportunity or game time is that the debate is left so open-ended, and it becomes a kind of circular merry-go-round style debate between fans, and it becomes a little bit, excuse me, itchy face. It becomes a little bit boring. I'm looking forward to, I want to see him get the game time, and then we can see whether he is or whether he isn't good enough. What I do think is telling is this news has come out today from a number of sources. I'm going to read you here what the article said. He said another out of favour United star, Donny van der Beek, was also heavily linked with an Old Trafford departure this summer, but was reportedly blocked from making the exit. Reports in his native Netherlands claim the midfielder was offered to join Everton on loan late in the window. The 24-year-old, who has struggled for minutes since his arrival from Ajax, is said to have been keen to leave this summer and even insisted on a short-term departure to boost his international hopes after being left out of Louis van Gaal's Netherlands squad. However, the Dutch outlet AD claimed the United boss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer blocked Van der Beek's exit, deeming the midfielder non-negotiable to keep at United this season. So you read this and think, well, Ole's obviously kept in there for a reason. Ole didn't want him to leave. Ole didn't want him to move on. Ole wanted to, get that business, didn't want to allow that business to take place. It must mean something to him in his plans. And I said earlier on at the beginning of the season, I think we're going to get our answers about Ole and Solskjaer after the international breaks, when the Champions League begins. And I think that's what's going to be very, very key. The Champions League element is going to be absolutely massive in relation to Donny van der Beek and his inclusion within the Manchester United team and within the Manchester United setup. And the reason I say that, we can take a look here at Manchester United's fixtures. And as you can see, we've got the 3 o'clock game against Newcastle on the 11th of September. So only 10 days away. It's only 10 days, ladies and gentlemen, until football come back. It isn't that far. And then it's just 3 days later, we're playing the Champions League. 5 days later, Prem. 3 days later, League Cup. 3 days later, Prem. 4 days later, Champions League. 3 or 4 days later, Prem. And then there is another international break, which is frustrating. But that period there, as you can see, kind of on the, I'm actually going to zoom out so we can try and fit it all into the same screen here. As you can see, from returning against Newcastle to that Everton game, that's quite a large number of games in under a month. In under a month, we're talking a 3-week period. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games in 3 weeks. Man United have played 3 games in 3 weeks at the beginning of the season. So there hasn't been the rotation. There's more than double the games in the same time period. This is when we're really going to get our answers about Donny van der Beek. My question to you this afternoon is, do you think Donny van der Beek is going to be given ample game time by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Will he do that? That's going to be my question. I'm going to type into the vote section here. Will Ole give Donny a chance in the team in the next month? That's the question that I'm posing to you. I want to put it out there because I want to understand what you think and feel. Will he get his opportunity? Will he seize his opportunity as well? That is the big question here. Marvo here says, Terry, no point showing the fixtures. Ole won't use him. Look, if Ole doesn't use him, but also blocks his move, I'd be heavily frustrated. And I'll tell you as to why. We're better off putting youngsters on the bench. You know, we're better off, say, a player like James Garner. We're better off using James Garner as a backup. What is the point of having the quality, and the expense of a Donny van der Beek when we could have just kept James Garner and said, listen, James, you know, you're 20 years of age. We're going to put you on the bench. You're going to make, 20 appearances from the bench this year. We want you in the matchday squad, gain that experience. You'll be playing around, your Pogbas, your Brunos, your Ronaldos. That's more beneficial to Man United, in my opinion, than sitting Donny van der Beek on the bench and barely letting him kick a ball. That just doesn't make any sense to me to do that. So I'm looking at it and thinking to myself, and I'm being respectful here because, I don't expect him to play in each and every single game. I legitimately don't. But Donny van der Beek deserves an opportunity. He deserves an opportunity to play. I think Ole's got to, if you're going to block his move away, if this news is to be believed and we've blocked that move away, we have to allow him to have game time. We simply have to. If we look at Donny van der Beek from last season, as an example, I'm just trying to find his profile here. I can't find it right now. I actually can't understand where. There it is. In terms of appearances last year, he only made in all competitions 36 appearances. But if you look at the minutes played, it's simply not enough. Now, I'm not someone who cries about starting lineup so much, but 7 games in 3 weeks, there has to be rotation. So I expect to see Donny start in at least 2, maybe even 3 of those games. And if he's starting in at least 2 or 3 of those games, then we're going to start to get our answers. How good is Donny going to be? There's a reserve game behind closed doors today that I think Donny's clearly going to play in, as he's not with the Netherlands squad. But he needs the opportunity, but then he needs to deliver. So, I mean, it's interesting to see that Ole rejected the move, but let's kind of see how this transpires and how this moves forward. A lot of free Donny hashtags here in the comments section. Hi, Terry. No new midfielder, but I want Donny. I know it's a cliche, but if we start playing Donny more regularly, it would feel like a new deal. Just because he barely played last year. He did barely play. Why is Donny so overhyped is what the Man City fan channel has got to say. Do you know what I would say to answer? I know there's a little bit of too much salt in that comment, but I'll answer it anyway. When it comes to Donny van der Beek, the reason that there's a lot of frustration from Man United fans is there is no answer to the conundrum. If he was to say start in the next 15 games, if he started 7 of them and come on as a substitution in 3 or 4 of them and didn't deliver in any, I think people would back Ole's decision to not play him regularly. But it's the fact that he is not getting the opportunity to play. That's where lies the problem. That's where the issues come from. He isn't getting ample game time. He isn't getting the opportunity in the goal that he feels he deserves, or his fans think he deserves. That's why you're getting such a kind of kickback from each and every other piece of this. Like it's what you're getting. It's why this is chucking up such a debate on such a regular basis, because he just simply isn't getting what people consider to be ample game time. I also want to talk about right now Anthony Martial as well. Smash that like and that share button. Anthony Martial rejecting a move away. How do you think his season is going to go? So Anthony Martial had an opportunity to move on transfer deadline day also. He was approached by Lyon back in France, who made an attempt to sign him. The only concrete attempt that Manchester United had from any club all summer for him was Lyon. That in itself does speak volumes to me, that There were no sort of leading European teams that really inquired or showed any real bite in trying to bring him in. He turned the move down. I'm not surprised. You look at who's at Man United right now. Why would he not want to be there? Why would he not want to stay? Why would he want to move anywhere else? But it's a big, I think this is it for Anthony Martial this season. Legitimately, it's going to be huge. It's a huge, huge season for him in the sense of he's got Rashford in front of him, Greenwood in front of him, Cavani and Ronaldo most certainly in front of him. Those players, Sancho in front of him now as well. You know, you're talking across multiple positions, 5 to 6 players who in the eyes of your manager are deemed better than you. There's been a long-standing criticism of Anthony Martial that he doesn't know how to stand up and fight. He has no fight. He only has flight. He runs away from a challenge. His 2 best seasons I've always felt in a Man United shirt were when there wasn't another top quality or prolific number 9 around him, when he's been able to just feel free and relaxed and deliver. When Zlatan came in, when Cavani came in, we've seen a Lukaku to a degree as well, and he was moved back out onto the left. We've sort of seen a regression in him as a football player in terms of his performances. Last year, there was one big anomaly. His conversion rate, normally in the mid to high 20s, was, I think, about 12%. So that obviously damaged him massively. But he'd rejected this move away. He had an opportunity to leave. He had an opportunity to move on to a different football club, and he's decided to stay at Manchester United and fight for his place, fight for his position within the team. So I'm really intrigued to see how this is going to pan out. I'm really intrigued to see how he's going to deliver, how he's going to perform for Man United this year when he gets these small opportunities. Now, it's the beginning of the season. Absolutely beginning of the season here, no doubt about it whatsoever. There's just, it's the beginning of the season. He hasn't had a great start. He started the game as a number 9 against Southampton, completely ineffectual. He came on against Wolverhampton Wanderers and again, did very, very little in that game. With the age that he is, his experience in the Premier League and at Manchester United, there are no more excuses for Anthony Martial. He has to deliver. He simply has to deliver. I don't think it can be debated. I don't think it can be... He can't be given any more excuses. I don't want to hear Martial FC deflecting and talking about Rashford or talking about Sancho. I want him focusing on Anthony Martial. Was he 25, 26 this year? He's reaching his peak years as a football player. I would like nothing more than to see Martial push Sancho, push Rashford, push Ronaldo out the way and say, no. The left-hand side is mine. A starting position is mine. You lot all get out the way. It's a brilliant conundrum for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to have. I think it's a conundrum that can only last 1 year. One of those players, we know Cavani's going, but Haaland is the main target to come in and replace him. After that moment, if Martial doesn't deliver massively this year, if he doesn't tear up trees, if he isn't benching the players I've mentioned, he's gone. He's absolutely gone. And he will have to go himself. He'll have to volunteer himself to go. There'll be nowhere to stay. I do want your thoughts and feeling on what you think is going to happen over the course of this season in relation to Man United. That is what we're talking about on this show. Remember, we're live 6:45 tonight for the Bet Victor show with Anita. Callum is on, KJ's here, Jess is here, Daniel's on, where we're going to be reviewing the transfer window and redoing our season predictions as well. That link is already available on the Football Terrace homepage, so make sure you are tuning in tonight. It's going to be an epic show indeed. That show is going to continue for at least the next month or so with our partners at Bet Victor. So that's going to be coming to you more and more. And we're very excited about doing it now the season is really kicking off. I'm going to share the link now in the comment section for you to phone up and have your say. the vote that we currently have out right now, 53% of you do not think Ole is going to give Donny a chance in the forthcoming fixtures. I want to know why now. That link has been shared. Phone into the Football Terrace right now via StreamYard and have your say. I really want to hear from you on this. We are going to talk Paul Pogba in a few moments as well, and his proposed new deal at Manchester United, which has been spoken about over the course of this morning. So we want to hear from you on that as well. Terry, I can see why he has turned down Lyon. They are not a stable club who have failed to qualify for the Champions League in the past 2 seasons, and they're going backwards. I still think a club like Spurs is ideal. Yes, but no one came in for him. And I think that's also something that's got to stand out in his mind a little bit, that none of these clubs came in for him. It's why it is a very, very, very big year indeed. It's a huge year for him. Huge year. I don't think, I don't think that can be denied. I don't think it can be denied at all. I don't think it can be denied at all. It needs to be. It's a massive, massive focus now. Going to talk Paul Pogba, and then we're going to bring you on to have your say. Smash that like and share button, people. Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba. A stellar player. An absolute stellar player. A very, very talented man indeed. Absolutely. Just quality player. Reports this morning in the Manchester Evening News from Samuel Luckhurst have claimed that Paul Pogba's Man United future is now the immediate focus of Manchester United Football Club. There were a number of reports in the summer that this deal would protrude the summer. It wouldn't be resolved in this window. He wouldn't leave, which he hasn't done. Man United have kept him. But Man United are now trying to essentially resolve the situation and try and keep him at the football club. We know Paul Pogba likes being here. We know Paul Pogba gets on with Ole. We know he loves living in Manchester. These things we already know. So they're not part of the debate. What it comes down to is, will Manchester United offer him an adequate salary that he thinks he deserves? Currently, Ronaldo's on £480,000 a week. You've got David De Gea on 375 and Paul Pogba on 295. Paul Pogba is demanding near to that £400,000 a week mark to re-sign a new deal at Manchester United to stay at this football club. United, of course, have a very slight advantage, or a massive advantage over any rivals, that he's at our club. He's in training every day. We can be in his ear every day. Of course, Cristiano Ronaldo signing and the like does help. But as he's entering the last year of his contract, and of course would be free to negotiate with other clubs from January, over the course of September and October, it's going to be a very intense time for Man United to try and convince him to stay. The signing of Ronaldo, the pursuit of Haaland. Don't expect this news to go away about the Haalands of this world coming in next. Because what they're going to try to do here, Manchester United, is use everything they've got to show Paul Pogba. Mason Greenwood's on his way through, one of the best up-and-coming youngsters. You've got one of the best left inside forwards in the world in Marcus Rashford. We've signed Ronaldo, who's the GOAT. Cavani's here for another year. When Cavani leaves, we're looking to go and try and sign Haaland. We've got you in the middle. A DM is going to be, don't expect to see in the next few weeks as well, Man United's plan around their DM movement all come to fruition early. This is all going to be used as an assault to get Paul Pogba to sign. Because if Paul Pogba signs, and then the likes of Haaland and maybe Declan Rice can be purchased in the summer. Remember, Haaland's available for £65 million in the summer. Declan Rice for about 80. You'd spend about the same as we spent this year on 2 more players. Suddenly you could have a team that has Haaland, Ronaldo, Rashford, Greenwood, Sancho, Bruno, Pogba, Declan Rice in it. Maguire. You're talking it's almost Woodward's Galactico dream, but he's done it in the right way. So that is what they're going to try and sell to Paul Pogba, that this is the place for you to be. You don't want to be in any other league. This is it. But I think the final nail in that coffin is going to be our form. I think we can show him all of this, but that form's got to be good. We've got to have some really good early season form, winning games, winning comfortably, winning well, for I think Paul Pogba to feel this sense of security that actually Staying here might best serve my career, because when you read the article, there's a few lines in it which are telling. This is the last big contract of Paul Pogba's professional career. It's the last big move for him. It's the last big decision. Where he goes next or where he stays next is it for his peak years. If he picks Man United and we are not ready to win league titles and Champions Leagues, there is such a fair argument to say that he's wasted his career at Manchester United. Europa Leagues, FA Cup finals, League Cups, that isn't good enough for a player of Pogba's level. It isn't good enough for Manchester United Football Club. So it's going to be very, very intriguing to see how and what he does moving forward, how Man United convince him to stay, who's going to come in for him next year, where he might end up. But that is the focus now. Pogba's new deal, Haaland to come in, trying to resurrect the likes of Donny van der Beek. Man United are trying to do something here. It's been a long time coming, but the squad that's being built, pound for pound, is absolutely excellent. I want your thoughts. I want your feelings on this right now, United fans tuning in. Make sure you smash that like button for us before we continue. We're going to go to your calls now. First up, we're going to get Jerry on the show with us. We've got Safe to come. We've got Satan's favorite devil, a long time no speak, coming onto the show. Russell's here backstage. We've got MD, MUFC, man like Ebony Coat in the background as well. So you're all going to come on and have your say. You're all going to get to come on and have your say in the next half an hour or so. Smash that like and that share button. Get this stream sent out to all your group chats, all your friends, everyone that's involved in Man United. We want to hear from them right about now. Man like Josh. I haven't seen you in a while, Josh. He says, Ollie is Nick Fury. Putting the Avengers emoji up there. Listen, even if Ollie isn't the right man, the squad that we're looking to build right now is absolutely brilliant. Let's go to our first caller of the day. We're going to go to Jerry, as we mentioned. He's going to come on and have his say. You can join us too. Morning, Jerry. How are you, mate?
Morning, sorry. I'm good, bro. How are you, sir?
I'm very, very well. And which of the stories are you here to speak about today?
So, three things to talk about. First things about the squad that Ollie's brought. Like, first, Ollie's squad. Ollie brought one of the best squad I've ever seen in my lifetime. Because, like, you know, when I told you last time, I didn't get to see any Man I win leagues. This is probably the best squad I've ever seen. Because we finally have. Because let's be honest, I thought we were getting a DM. Because this target, we were meant to get a DM, right wing, and centre back, and Ronaldo, I had no idea Ronaldo was going to be part of our transfer, but it was something that I just could not say no to. And yes, we need Ronaldo because we need a proper mentality, who's a player, because this man has won 5 Champions League, league titles, everywhere he's gone. He's won especially for his country. We need a man like that in the dressing room who's going to like change our players to make them improve our players and probably like give them the confidence and teach players like Mason Greenwood. And Ronaldo's going to be, obviously, he's going to be our starter as a striker because obviously he's 6. But it's good to Cavani stays so he could be a backup. And left wing and right wing, we're going to have players like Greenwood, Sancho, Martial, Rashford. This is an amazing squad, amazing, which I can't wait.
And I totally get that. I'm getting a really bad bit of feedback from the line there. I totally get that. In terms of convincing Paul Pogba to stay, do you think this squad and Ollie is enough to convince him to stay?
So for this season, yeah, we have to win the league or Champions League, or we have to win both. If we win both of them, if we win Champions League, Premier League, or any small cups, then Pogba could stay. But if we don't win anything, then if our Pogba might as well leave, he has to go. Then my personal opinion. If we win the Premier League and Champions League, then he's gonna stay. I doubt it.
There we go, Jerry. Still getting that really bad feedback. I'm not too sure why. Thank you very much for coming on, mate, and having your say. Really appreciate it, Jerry. Top man. We're talking Martial season ahead. What does it look like? Pogba's new deal. Will Donny van der Beek get opportunities? A lot of you want to speak about the quality of Man United squad and what we're looking to build. I want to hear from you right now. Next on the show, we're going to Satan's favorite devil is in the house. Welcome back to the terrace, mate. What do you want to say, buddy? He's not there ready to speak. So instead, we're going to go to MD. MD's in the JD is in the house with us. What you saying, bro?
What's up, everybody? I'm here to talk about Man United and their championship settings that we need to be putting on right now.
Lovely. Go on, speak up. Go for it, bro.
Legitimately, I look at the squad, I look at where we finished last season, I look at the fact that we've added two world-class players as well as one right there in the pipeline with Sancho. Championship settings, we have to set eyes on the title. There's no excuse that I can see right now that anybody can present to me when I look at the 12 points difference that we lost the title to City on. Because when you look at certain games, you can look at the Everton game and be like, look, we drew 3-3. That could have been amended with a Varane. We can look at the Sheffield game and be like, look, we lost 2-1. That can be amended with a Ronaldo or a Sancho. So as United fans, look, we need to say it with our chest. We're champion. We are definitely Premier League contenders. And I don't see why not.
Look, we have to be considered Premier League contenders. I think any Man United fan playing that down is deluding themselves. There's no doubt. In relation to some of the players we've mentioned in this stream, the likes of Donny van der Beek, Anthony Martial. Sorry, mate. What did you say? Sorry, you can't hear me. I think we might have a connection. Try calling back if you can't hear us, bro. A bit of a connection issue there. Two callers on the bounce. Got a connection issue with, but there we go. People, take your love and hate towards Ole and put it aside. Look at the squad now from before. He has built, with a couple of additions, a brilliant squad, even if another manager takes over. He has, and that can't be denied. We're going to get Safe on the show now to have his say. What are you saying, Safe?
Hey, Terry, what's up, man?
Yeah, I'm good. What do you want to say? Yeah, what do you want to say?
I'm really, really angry that Ole is still Manchester United manager. The guy is a fraud. The guy needs to get sacked immediately. I don't think, I believe Manchester United will be lucky to finish fourth this season, even though with Ronaldo. I mean, Ole is a fraud. I mean, what can Ole do? I mean, you and AJ came yesterday and said that Ole needs to go because Conte or Zidane would make us win the Premier League. That's what he said yesterday.
Right.
So why can't Manchester United not sack Ole and hire Conte? Conte is available. Hire him. This squad is good enough to win the league. This squad is good enough to win the Champions League. I don't understand how that fraud here, Ole, is still Manchester United manager. Explain this to me. I'm really, really frustrated here.
Well, there's not much for me to explain. He just is the Manchester United manager. Are you not willing to give him a chance with this new squad and see what he can do?
Sack him. It's a vice for the football club. It's like a touch at Arsenal. The guy is a fraud. The guy needs to go immediately. And clip this video, yes? If I come in next month or two, I say that Ole is great, then I will keep changing my words. But at the football terrace, there's no echo chambers. Okay, so I have my own personal opinion.
Exactly. Okay, mate. Listen, Safe. Enjoy your lunch wherever you are. Top man. Thank you very much indeed. Matt, could you imagine how everybody else in that cafe feels right now? They're like, I bet people. What's he doing? Just man, just started shouting, "Sack him!" in the restaurant. Next on the show, Russell is here with me. What are you saying, Russell?
Hey, Terry, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I'm all good. What do you want to say?
Look, first of all, just to say, if a lot of people, Ole has a lot of people in their feelings, mate. What has he done? They're talking about the squad. Oh, look at the squad. He should be challenging with the squad. Well, who put the squad together in the first place? Yeah, who put the squad together in the first place? And you're talking about, oh, sack this guy right now in a season where you've just brought in Varane, you've just brought in Sancho, he's just managed to bring in Cristiano Ronaldo back from Juventus, and you're saying, sack this guy. It's so illogical. I don't know. Ole has people in their feelings. I wanted to talk about the Martial thing, man.
Yes.
And I'm always on it. And a lot of people don't want to bring, and by the way, I'm not Martial FC, I'm Man United FC. I'm MUFC, and I like all the players, and I criticize them equally. A lot of fans don't want to bring Marcus Rashford into the discussion when talking about Anthony Martial because it will call them out for their hypocrisy. What I mean by that is they've both been at the club for the same number of years. They both have almost an identical number of games that they've played for the club. Marcus Rashford a little bit more, actually. And yet Martial's goal, what you call it, where you have goals and assists, whatever he's provided for the club in terms of goals and assists is better than Marcus Rashford's. So my issue is not that Mike Martial is a big season for him. My issue is where's the equal criticism for the two players? Now, I get it. Marcus Rashford is born and bred, but that should be mentioned when criticizing and talking about these two players. And it's not just these two players. It's a lot of players at Man United who should be talked about before we talk about Anthony Martial. And that's just fact.
In what way? Like who?
Juan Mata, Jesse Lingard. Until recently, Martial was ahead of Mason Greenwood. Until recent, this is just on form, by the way. I put Mason Greenwood ahead of him, just on form. Even Cavani, we can't be talking about selling Martial when we've got a Cavani who clearly likes to play in fucking Uruguay, and the guy plays one game in 3, and is also very injury prone, and he only has 1 year left on his deal. But we're talking about, Salah and Martial. And another thing, it's a lot of fake things are talked about here, which absolutely piss me off because I don't see this about any other player. Oli comes out time and time after again and says, he's not for sale. He's not for sale. I rate him. He's not for sale. What he said, class is permanent, form is temporary. I rate him. No one reports on this. Because it doesn't suit it doesn't get the clicks. Right now it's very fashionable to hate Martial. I get it. Hate on him. But the facts are, you compare him and you compare a guy like Rashford, he's got way more goals and assists per minute ratio than Rashford. And they've played almost the same number of games. But one is supposed to step it up and the other one is the King of England.
I think what you're missing out though is trajectory. By the way, wherever you've got your Discord on, can you mute it for me, please? I keep hearing it in the background. Cool. I think what you're missing out on here when it comes to the Rashford conversation, you brought him up, is the trajectory. What Rashford has done over the last couple of seasons is continue to grow and get better. Where Martial has stayed the same or gone backwards, that's what people focus on. So when you look at Martial's points and assists per minute, he's older. He has played more games. But also, what's the trajectory of things? And football, whether we like it or not, is a what have you done for me lately kind of business. You get the best striker in the world. But if his goals start to dry up, you need a new striker. I think with Anthony Martial, after a poor season last year, I don't think it's disrespectful to say he has to deliver this year. Otherwise, he's going to be gone. He is going to be gone. And he just will. I don't understand what's disrespectful about saying that.
After a poor season, I get it. But then when you say, because the statement that's said is, this season is a big season for Anthony Martial. And that has been the statement from the day he got here. That's why there's the whole, whatever, I don't know what you say in England, 50 million is going to be a flop, down, blah, blah, blah. From the day he came into United as a 19-year-old, doing things that Mason Greenwood is doing now, He scored 17 goals in his first season. From the time he came in, this guy has always been questioned. And I'm actually tired of defending him, to be honest. It's just annoying because I'm trying to support the team, but there's this section of fans that are really going hard on Anthony Martial as if, just because he had a bad season, that means in his United career, he's been worse than certain other players, which is not true.
So I'm not saying he's been worse than certain other players. I'm not saying those things. I can't speak for anybody else. But at the end of the day, it's what's the trajectory going in? We've bought in. It's a big season for everybody. But I think Rashford, if he has a bad year, it's on the back of 2 very good seasons. 2 seasons running where he scored over 20 goals as an inside forward. If you look at the top 4 leagues in Europe, Serie A, Bundesliga, La Liga, Prem, 2 seasons running, he's been in the top 3 goal contributing inside forwards in the world. The only people that have been above him are in their late 20s, so they're more established, they're more rounded, played more games, right? So he's delivered. That gives him a pass for a bad season. Sancho, it's his first season. Ronaldo's Ronaldo. Cavani's only got 1 year left and he's going. Martial to have 2 average or poor seasons on the bounce.
I agree. That's
That's all I'm stating. Of course, some people go at him, and look, the same as some people go at Marcus Rashford for no reason. You'll see Martial FC consistently attacking Rashford just to elevate their own person, and we don't need that. But listen, Russell, great call, mate. Thanks for coming on and having your say. We appreciate it. We've got some interesting hypocrisy here. Do you want to all see it? Trevor Sinclair. Oh my word! I can't believe I've only just seen this. I've only just seen this. But look, let's go and take a look at it. Wow. So this is what he said when Ronaldo was close to joining Man City. Ronaldo is exactly what Man City have been looking for. This could go a long way to getting City over the line for the Champions League. Of all the number 9s available, though it will cost a few quid, he's worth taking. And then they said here, this is from their account, Trevor Sinclair loves the idea of Ronaldo joining City. Now look what he said when he joined Man United. The intensity is unbelievable in the Prem, and his legs will tire. Ronaldo won't be able to play every game and be top draw every game. Trevor Sinclair says Ronaldo should not be a guarantee or expected to start every Man United game this season. Now, he's right that he shouldn't be expected to start every single game. But we've got Cavani as well. Like, honestly, the excitement at joining City, this is what I'm talking. This is football fans for you. Like, he might be an ex-football player, Trevor Sinclair, but he's not a pundit like an ex-footballer. He's a pundit like a fan. He's literally a fan. Like, it's brilliant to see. Honestly, it's amazing. And you see this all the time. Like, people do it all the time. It's honestly, I feel like pro pundits now just watch what YouTube are doing. They're like, right, I'm going to say some, like Sonny yesterday. I'm surprised we haven't seen this from a professional pundit yet. We might before the season kicks off again. United are only the 3rd or 4th best team in the league, but they should be winning the title. I guarantee you one of them says it. That's because they've probably been watching our shows. And they said, I can't believe he said, like, it's the receipts, bruv. Receipts. A man like Ben here says exposed in 8K. It's just there to be seen. I kind of get the point around he could be the final piece in our jigsaw, play like all the Champions League games and half the Premier League games and make us win the Champions League. But then he could do that for Man United, couldn't he? Like, imagine Ole just literally plays Ronaldo in Champions League games and brings him on the sub for the last 30 minutes of games. That's his job. That's a lot of money, but that's his job. He can still score 30 goals doing that. He's running, bruv. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Right, next on the show, we're going to go to Be Kind. Be Kind is on the show. Welcome back to the Terrace. What do you want to say?
Hi, bruv. How's things going?
Very, very good. What's on your mind, my man?
What I really want to say is that Cristiano Ronaldo is back, and I'm sick and tired of hearing it from all the pundits and everything, saying, like, he can't do what he used to do. I'm sorry, but when he was at Man United, he was a winger. Wayne Rooney looked after his left-hand side and everything like that. That was different. We're bringing back a centre forward. That's where we needed to strengthen anyway. And Mason Greenwood's going to learn from one of the best strikers. I'm sorry, but Mason Greenwood's doing exactly what Cristiano Ronaldo used to do, but better, in my eyes. But he's got more potential than Cristiano Ronaldo. Also, with Pogba, I'm sorry, Pogba's one of the best. We need to keep him. We need to do things for him. The team wasn't ideal. He had issues with Mourinho and everything like that. Ole knows what he's doing. He's built a team. This is a team that's not a finished article yet. You sack him now, you're going back about another year, 2 years. That's what you're going to end up doing. I don't see why people are so on Ole's back. I understand he's gone to finals, he's gone to semi-finals, quarterfinals, and everything like that. This is a manager. I'm sorry, not a coach, a manager. Look what he's doing with players. They want to play for him. They want to play for the badge. They're kissing the badge. They want everything. It's like Bruno. He came in as a winner. He wants to win things. Cristiano Ronaldo, he's a leader. He wants to win things. Varane, he's a leader. He's a winner. Pogba, I won't say he's much of a leader, but he wants to win things. Martial, great player, but he's a winger, not a central forward. That's the biggest mistake he's done, is gone into a central position. I loved him on the right, on the left wing. He can play the left or the right. When we had Martial on the right, and then you had Rashford on the left, you saw two beautiful wingers going at it. Now you've got Sancho. You've got two wingers on two sides. And I think Martial, it is his season. He needs to do something more than what he's doing right now. Because last season, he flopped. He really did. I love the guy, but he needs to show that it's like he says, he's committed to Man United. He wants to show that he can do better. That's fine. This is what Van der Beek has said during the Euros. He said the same thing. He loves Ole. He wants to prove. He didn't expect Premier League to be this difficult. I think Van der Beek is going to do something amazing this season. But the thing is, though, I think Ole has his doubts because we don't have a central midfielder where he's defensive and that's all he thinks about. Because we need that kind of player, because you can't play Bruno, Pogba and play Van der Beek together unless you've got someone that's holding. And that's the biggest issue we have. I would like, if it was me, I would say like one of our central defenders to go in the middle. Like you push up Varane into central midfield and have him there and then put Lindelof back in. And that way you still got all the covering, but all you say to Varane is, don't worry about the front bit. We've got the attacking side, but we keep that side. I don't know what you think about that, but that is an opportunity. Or the other thing I'd say is you put Delo in and move what's his name? Right hand. What's his name? I've forgotten his name now. Our right hand defender.
AWB.
Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, that's it. If we move him into central midfield, he'd do the job because he's a defensive. He'll be able to do that and he can pass. It's that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, I don't.
Yeah, no, listen, I hear a lot of what you're saying, mate, and I really, really do. Viewers, what do you make of what Be Kind has had to say this morning? Thank you for coming on, mate, and having your say. Really appreciate it, bro. Top man. Thank you. Gav, thank you for becoming a brand new Academy member of the Football Terrace. Now the transfer window is shut. We're going to push ahead with one of the first Football Terrace away days. Going to get that date put in very, very soon for our members to be able to join us there and get that done. Got to sort out the tech first, though, for the Friday night show. Friday night show, not on this week, but back next week in the build-up to the Premier. It's only going to run during Premier League season, so it's back in a couple of weeks' time. Next on the show, we're going to go to Simon. Simon's on with us now. But actually, before we go to Simon, here's actually what Trevor Sinclair had to say.
We'll get the start, but when his legs start tiring, because the intensity is unbelievable in the Premier League, when his legs start tiring, Edison Cavani will get a chance, and they will dovetail throughout the season. The big games,
super fit, Ronaldo.
Super fit. Manchester United play 60 games. He won't be able to play every game and be top draw for every game. So that'll be down to Ole to plan his games, when he wants him to make the impact, when he wants him to play. And listen, Edison Cavani is not just going to lie down and say, oh, Ronaldo's coming here, I'll just wait for my opportunity. When he gets his opportunity and he starts knocking him in the back of the net, then Ole's got a problem. Who am I going to play? And that's about man management. And that actually comes back to a fundamental where you say, whoever's doing the business has to play. It doesn't matter about your name. And that goes for Ronaldo as well.
So actually, when you actually listen to it, it's a little more positive than the capture of his comments says. It's like he's trying to play Ronaldo down a little bit. Hang on a minute. What's this? You all right? What's that? It's crocodile or lizard? Lizard.
Yeah.
You know I'm working, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to come say hello? I'll say hi. Just bursting in here in the middle of a show. Oh, showed your belly off. Want to say hello?
I don't put them on me yet.
You want me to put them on you?
Yeah.
You want my earphones on? Okay. There you go. Say hello to everyone. Speak. No, louder so they can hear you.
Hello.
Hello. Tell them what's your name? What's your name? And how old were you at the weekend? How old were you on your birthday? How old were you?
3.
Yeah. All right. You're going to go now? No. All right, give me these back, please, Missy.
Oh, I want to stay with you.
I've got to work, baby. I've got to work and I'll be out very soon. Don't press those buttons. Don't press those. She presses the buttons. She likes pressing the buttons. Right, give me a kiss. Mwah. Love you loads, and I'll speak to you soon. All right, watch out. Speak to you soon, like she's a caller. Thank you, and I'll speak to you soon. Bless her. Bless her. There we go. Right, next on the show, Simon's here. What are you saying, Si?
Hi, mate. How's it going?
Yeah, very good, mate. Very, very good.
Cool. Happy belated birthday to Freya.
Appreciate that, mate. Thank you. Thank you.
No worries. Just about the whole Donny thing. Everyone's shouting and up in arms about Donny not being played, but has anyone thought that maybe there's something going on behind the scenes, kind of like how we had with Romero and Rojo and a couple of other players that Ollie ended up shipping out in the end?
I mean, there could be something, as in there has to be a reason that he's not playing. I don't buy into this he's bullying him thing. That's just people looking to be edgy and controversial online. There's no, if he was bullying Donny, the rest of the players wouldn't be standing for it. Simple as that. They just wouldn't. They wouldn't allow that to happen. It would fall apart. I just don't think he's done enough in training. I think it's really basic and fundamental. I don't think he's shown enough in training. I want to see him an opportunity in the games, though. And the one thing I would say in defense of Donny, he hasn't been given enough opportunities over a period of time. Say in a 4-week period, if he could start 3 or 4 games when they matter, then we really get our answers. I suppose from Ollie's point of view, though, the problem is, but I don't think he'll deliver. And if I start him in those games and we don't win, it's me who's going to get it in the neck. So it comes with it's a little bit of a poison chalice for Ollie if he doesn't think that he's good enough. But what do you think should happen? Should he be playing Donny more, in your opinion?
I do think he should be playing him more. With all them games that we've got coming up, he will get played, but that comes with a caveat, because we've got to remember is that Scott McTominay is injured at the minute, and that might be the only reason why Fred gets played during them 7 games. When Scott comes back, Ollie's going to trust him. From what I've heard, the coaching staff all think that Scott's the best midfielder they've got. They think they see him as a baller. They see Fred as being amazing. I mean, we see Fred for Brazil. He's fantastic. For whatever reason, I don't think he copes quite so well with the intensity in the Prem. Whether Donny can step up and show that he can cope with that better, I don't know. But unless he gets game time, how can he prove that? So it's a catch-22.
Yeah, it does. It does become a catch-22, and sometimes you can be a bad trainer and brilliant in games. Sometimes you can be a brilliant trainer and awful in games. It's getting those. I want to see him given an opportunity. Like for me, if he gets the opportunity and doesn't deliver, it's what I wanted to see. I want to see him get the opportunities and deliver. But yeah, that's the kind of space that I kind of sitting in relation to that, mate. Simon, great call, mate. Thanks for coming on and giving us your thoughts. Thank you very much indeed. Next up on the show, we've got KJ coming very, very soon. Have his say. We're going to go to MUFC Daniel. Daniel Ali's with us now. What you saying, mate?
Hi, Terry. How's it going?
Very well, my friend. What's on your mind? What do you want to say today?
Terry, a lot's on my mind. I'm a Man United fan. Basically, I rate this transfer window a very, very good transfer window. At least 8, 9 out of 10. I'm not buying this whole CDM. Terry, a lot of our, not only Man United, but Arsenal especially, a lot of the fan base, I call them transfer junkies, Terry. There's transfer junkies. More. That's all they care about. I remember when we signed Sancho, Varane. As soon as Varane was signed, Sancho was signed, all I was seeing on Twitter was CDM. It's a football club, Terry. It's not a bank.
Yeah.
And you know what the funny thing is, Terry? A lot of these fans that are like this, they're Ollie outers. They're Ollie outers, and that's, I don't get it. I honestly do not get it, Terry. And you know what frustrates me the most is, Terry, there's actually an account on Twitter. He's so toxic, Terry. He actually speaks about assassinating Ollie.
What?
I don't like speaking like this, Terry. We actually speak like that.
About killing Ollie.
Yes.
Who speaks about killing Ollie?
Terry, I'm not lying. There's an account and you follow him.
I follow him.
Yes. Either you follow him or you know of him. I'm 100% sure.
I've never seen anyone say they want to murder or kill Ollie.
I promise you, Terry.
Oh, I know who you mean. Yeah. Really? Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
right.
Terry,
Yeah.
and do you know what the funny thing is, Terry? That person has been chased out of Old Trafford, no lie, in front of my eyes. Honestly, Terry, hand on heart, I'm not lying to you. I have seen him, and he's been chased out of Old Trafford because people who have obviously witnessed his comments, his toxic behavior, and they've seen him at Old Trafford, and they've chased him out.
I hear you on that. Listen, bro, on your original point about the transfer window, I would have liked a CDM, but there's this. I've also said I still think our squad's good enough to win the league without one. I think that you're spot on. You're absolutely spot on when it comes to. I don't think it mattered what we did. The negative people would still find something to moan about. They always do, and it's consistent. It's consistent. Whatever happens, they moan. If we would have bought Ruben Neves, it wouldn't have been the right kind of midfield player. They always look for a reason to like attack. They always look for a reason to be negative, be downbeat. Even when things are good, it was. I saw the Ronaldo deal come in. Everyone was excited about Ronaldo, but the response to Ronaldo coming in was like, "Yeah, but it's going to impact this. It's going to impact that. It's going to stop this. We won't get that now. Oh, this is going to be rubbish. It's going to break this. It's going to damage that." And I sort of sat there and felt like, just why every single day is it negativity? Why every single day are you in a bad mood? Do you get where I'm coming? It's like sometimes you go, do you know what? That was a really good bit of business, and I'm really happy with that bit of business. And it just never seems to happen. Never seems to happen at all.
Terry, I don't think in a million years at the start of the transfer window we would have imagined Jadon Sancho, Champions League Varane, Cristiano Ronaldo. I seen your stream yesterday. People were calling him the second best player ever. Never in a million years would we have imagined them three players at Man United. And again, we have to give credit to Woodward. Me personally, I've been very critical of him, but for him to pull this off is unbelievable. Ollie, people call him, oh, he's a PE teacher. He's this, he's that. He's the worst mind in the league. He's got no pull, but he's pulled off Cristiano Ronaldo, Varane, Sancho, and just to finish off, Terry, I am so confident that we're going to get a trophy this year. Believe me, Terry. It might not be the Premier League, it might not be the Champions League, but we are going to win a trophy. I believe in Ollie so much. I back Ollie right to the end. Imagine if we were in Arteta's shoes, Ollie. Terry. Imagine that. Imagine if we finished 8th two seasons in a row. Imagine if you were in the relegation zone right now with no wins, no goals scored, 9 goals conceded, and our main rivals, Tottenham, for example, or let's just say Liverpool or City, were top of the league, which they are now for them. Imagine that. We are in a way better place than Arsenal right now, and we're in a way better place than before Oli took over. Yes, we know he's not a Klopp. Yes, we know he's not a Pep Guardiola. We know he's a Tuchel. Why do we have to keep comparing him to that? But at the same time, he's beaten them. He's beaten Tuchel with Mbappe and Neymar in his team. Let's not forget.
Mate, I hear what you're saying there. I like the confidence that you have. Top man, bro. Definitely phone into the show again. Thank you much indeed. We're going to go to KJ now to see the show out with us. KJ, welcome back, mate. What are you saying, bro?
Did I just hear Woodward prop? Did I just hear thank Woodward? Oh, my ears, bro. Everything else you're saying, yeah, cool, innit? But that part, just my resistance sense was tingling, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that man is just doing his flipping job. That's all he is. And he's doing it now that he's leaving. Oh, what a surprise. Anyway, let's get down to business. You see, Donny, yeah? Ollie, listen to me. If Ollie is blocking this move for Donny to go out on loan, he needs to get games. He needs to get games. We need to start seeing him playing. And obviously, I'm not one of these people who's like, Ollie's a disgrace and he's a bully for not playing Donny. But that action there, of blocking his loan move or transfer out of the club says to me that you see him in the squad for a purpose and a reason, and now is the time to start playing him. Now is the time to start playing him. So after into that, I'm hoping that it's one of those things where it's like he was just saving him because there's only 3 games, so there's no point of playing him, and then breaking his stride because of international break. International break, when we come back, I beg we start to see more of Donny van de Beek. Champions League is back. I beg we start to see more of Donny van de Beek because now is the time. We didn't get a DM, so we need to utilize the squad that we've got, and the solution in there can be Donny van de Beek. Ollie has got the tools. Has he got all the tools that he needs? No, but do you have most of them? Yes. Ollie has most of the tools to go and at least challenge for the league and win a trophy, and so therefore I'm imploring him, use Donny van de Beek in a way to help the team. That's all we want. You know what I mean? That's all we want. And hopefully he does that. But Ollie needs to start playing Donny because you don't just block his move just to have him on the bench all season.
Mate, no, I agree. And I said a few weeks back that I think we won't see Donny in the early first. And this is where it's about not getting your underwear in a twist. You know, I didn't expect to see Donny in the opening in the opening few weeks.
3 games, yeah.
There's 1 game a week, and he was going to play our strongest players in those teams. And I know people want to see him in a deeper line midfield position, but I don't think that's his strongest position at club level. But we'll see. He was always going to get opportunities when the League Cup and the Champions League begins. But it's about delivering. And when I say that, the one thing I'd say about Donny last year, even in the odd few games where he did start, I didn't see enough from him still. I want to see more of a performance, you know? And
yeah. Obviously, it's not just like playing him for playing him's sake and he has a terrible game, but you keep playing him. I just feel like I admit last season, there wasn't enough. He did some good things, but throughout the game, there wasn't enough. I feel now that it's his 2nd season coming in. He's had a whole year with the squad and with Ollie. He should now be more attuned and more ready to start games and perform. And I believe in him. I was excited about him coming in for a reason. So obviously, I just wanted him to do well. I want the team to do well as well. So yeah, obviously we need him to perform when he plays, but he also needs to get at least a run of games where he can get the opportunity to perform. So it's one of those ones where when you bring him in and bring him out over and over again, there's only so much you can expect from him. Look at Fred. Fred, when he first came at United, didn't really get a look in, only a few games here and there. Ollie came in, didn't really play him to that, but there was injuries. He starts playing Fred, and Fred got some consistency. Like I remember, obviously that towards the start of the 2019-20 season, he started getting his games, and he was getting consistent performances. Some players just need that run of games, and I think Donny is definitely one of them. So I hope he performs and gets a run of games at the same time. So then we will get our answers if he fits. Not going to say he's good enough because he's good enough.
Yeah.
If he fits Manchester United.
Yeah, and that's what we'll see. It's all about fitting, because you might suddenly see Dan James now suddenly become a much better football player now that he's away from Manchester United. These things happen. But listen, everyone that's tuned in today, a massive thank you to each and every single one of you. We're back 6:45 with a Bet Victor show. It's going to be amazing. Anita's on, Callum's on, KJ's there, Jesse's there, Daniel's there. We're going to be looking at who is going to win the Prem, who's making the top 4 again, revisit our earlier predictions. Now the window is done. We're also going to be having a big debate about Ronaldo and what we expect from him, who the best striker or attackers in the league actually are. We'll have a nice little chat about that, review the transfer window as well. Plus, any debates you want us to have, send me a DM, get involved, send us in some questions. Might be something you really want to hear us talk about, so send that in to us now. But until next time, take care of yourselves. Goodbye. God bless.